I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the Family Showdown!
Hello and welcome. I see you all have gotten crazy in the chats already. Good to see y'all. Welcome to another crazy top 10.
Is it crazy?
Or is it top 1,000?
No, it's definitely not the top 1,000.
Sort of.
Kind of?
Sort of. Do
Hello,
you know what we're
everybody.
talking about?
Good evening. Sorry for the delay for those that are watching live.
Let's roll.
It happens.
Let's roll.
All right, folks. So what we're doing tonight, we're doing our top 10 100 games on Board Game Geek. So a long while back, way back times. I don't know how long ago, probably a year ago. I believe it was it the Brothers Murph?
Yep, Brothers Murph did it.
Was it the first one to do it?
Yep, to my knowledge.
Someone did it. I think it was the Blood. I'm pretty sure it was the Brothers Murph, but several people did it. They did their top 10 games on Board Game Geek, but they did one from each 100. So they did from 1 to 100 in the rankings of Board Game Geek. They picked one, and then the next 100, next 100, next 100. And we carried a little further, and I think they may have as well. They went to the next 1,000. Then we decided to be crazy and go to the next 1,000. So we're doing our 2001 to 3,000, our favorite game in each 100. But we're doing this one a little differently because we've noticed that as we've done these, that there is some kind of games that are kind of strolling through that section. So brand new games. If you don't know the Board Game Geek ranking system, basically people go out and rank games. Like they pick this game and they give it a 7 or 8 or 9.
Yes.
So you would think you would just average all those together and wherever it falls, it falls. That's not how it works. They punitate games that have very few votes. So if it's a brand new game and even if everyone rates it a 10, if it has a few votes, it's still going to be way down in the rankings. They have some algorithm that decides what that ranking is. So there are new games that are kind of working their way up the list. It may have an overall average 8 rating, but it only has 200 votes, so it's like way down in the list. So we're going to give you our game that is actually living in that section and not just passing through that section. And then we also, in like some cases,
we saw one that was passing through, so to speak, and we're like, ooh, we must comment.
Correct. So we got a handful of games that would be our favorite game from that list, but it's obviously going to move higher up on the list as time goes by.
Right.
All right. Hopefully that all made sense.
Welcome all you popping into the chat. I saw we lost a viewer, Zeris. That was totally you.
Yeah, Zeros gave Dead Reckoning an 8, man.
I know, we saw that.
Anyway. All right, so as usual, we used to do this in order. Like I always went first, Rebecca always went second. But now we got this bim bam bum nonsense.
Oh, it's on.
And we'll let Rebecca cut, and we'll see who goes first. Well, the winner decides who goes first. Here it is.
Okay.
We'll skip that one. It's not really fair.
That's messed up.
Who knows more superheroes?
Probably you.
It's probably me. So I'm not confused. I'm gonna go first because that's the order the buttons are in.
Yes, I was gonna say. I know how this is going.
All right, so let's kick it off. Let's get it started. This is gonna say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. But we're starting.
I will tell you. I'll say when it's what it is.
Well, they're not gonna know. Well, okay, fine.
Well, that's why we tell
I'm
them.
going first.
Well, then you explain it.
I was about to.
Oh.
We're actually going to start with 2901 to 3000 and work our way up to 2001 to 2100. Because supposedly the games would be getting better, but for my list, it's not necessarily. All right, here we go.
Greetings, peeps.
Number 10.
So my number 10, or my 2901 to 3000 is Trekking the National Parks.
Boom.
So Trekking National Parks, this was at one time like the family favorite.
It was for a while.
For a while.
The kiddos were really eating it up.
It was our family favorite. So this is I guess a moving around the board kind of game. So you're moving around the board, visiting different national parks. You're collecting little stones as you go. That kind of, there's like a set collection on those. but you're also collecting cards a la Ticket to Ride. You're basically drawing cards and getting sets of cards. And then a national park will have a set of cards that you have to turn in to get that. So maybe Yellowstone Park will have 3 trees and a mountain. So you have to collect 3 trees and a mountain. Go to Yellowstone Park, actually physically move your little guy on the map to Yellowstone Park, turn in your cards, and then you get that park card that you visited that park. And those different parks are worth various points. Some cards are easier to buy than others. Some parks are very more remote than others. So the value is dependent on those factors. So it's a cool little, just kind of an easy little game. It's kind of, I consider it a Ticket to Ride variant. Although you're not building routes. Instead of building routes, you're purchasing parks with those cards. So great little game, great little family game. There's a new second edition that's more streamlined and cooler. And there's also now Trekking the World, and then there's a new Trekking Through Time or History or something that's coming out as well. So great little game, great little family game.
My turn.
I'm waiting.
It's the same. It's Trekking the National Parks. Although close second is Othello. I saw, I think Zeros was talking about that, or Julio, one of you guys were. And this, like everything he said, plus there's also the little colored tokens and stuff you have all over the board that you can pick up as you go. And then there's a bunch of points at the end for whoever has the best set collection, you know, like who has the most of each colored bead as well. So it's like a little bit of extra fun to the game. So you can go crazy and collect all these parks. Meanwhile, hopefully you're collecting some good rocks at least, or keeping others from getting that victory point madness at the end with that too. So it's an awesome family game.
There's a more advanced version. I don't know if we've ever played it. There's a slightly more advanced version.
I think we have. I think
Have
we
we?
have played it.
I don't recall.
I'm pretty sure we've played it.
I do not recall.
Yep. Yeah, these are fantastic welcoming games. I like the trekking series. They're really fun. Yeah, Othello was one I was looking at. The other one.
Othello's a horrible game. I hate that game.
What game?
Othello?
Othello?
I hate that game.
Oh my gosh. You don't like abstracts, though. You have a thing about abstract games typically.
Not like Othello
The other game I liked in that list was Zany Penguins. That was a
Penguins.
fun,
That's a fun
cute little game, cute art card game.
That is a Under the Radar Z special.
That is an Under the Radar Z Garcia special kind of game. It's cute, though.
All right.
Very cute.
Let's move on.
Number 9.
Number 9. Let's see what my number 9 is.
What is your number 9?
Let's see. Let's push the button and find out. Number 9 is Hail Hydra. So we played this. This is a social deduction game with a obviously a Marvel theme on top of it. This one was just like a one-hit wonder for us almost. We played it and we kind of thought, and then we kind of moved on from it. I mean, I think we still have it. I think
We do.
somewhere.
Not in here, right? I think it's in the hallway, but yeah.
For whatever reason, this one just didn't go over well. I think the problem was that I don't know. I guess the people we played it with were kind of hardcore Marvel people, and they didn't like the fact that the Hulk was a Hydra agent and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Fun.
Even though Captain America, I guess, in a storyline was a Hydra agent.
Yeah, there's all sorts of messed up stuff. Sorry,
but
nonsense.
But yeah,
Nonsense.
I don't know. It was okay. It just for whatever reason, then we just never went back to it. I think we played it. Twice when we brought it out, and I don't know if we played this ever since.
I'm trying to think if we have. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. But yeah, this one. I think also at the same time we were playing a ton of other social games, and it kind of is one of those that doesn't necessarily stand out.
I mean, we love Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, so it's hard to dethrone.
Oh yeah, it's not going to dethrone that one. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just bad timing. You're right. It may have been bad timing when it came out because there may have been a bunch of good social deduction games that hit at the same time.
Tommy was saying too, we thought there were some balance issues with it when we were playing too.
Oh, okay. Maybe so. I can't recall.
Yeah, certain characters. You're right. I remember that now. There were certain characters that were much more powerful than others, and it's like.
I just don't recall. I just know that we played it. We put it on the shelf, and it's collecting dust. I mean, we haven't gotten rid of it for whatever reason.
It's like that computer head dude in that works for Hydra. He's just collecting dust in a warehouse somewhere
until someone runs into him.
Yep, and then we're gonna open up the box again, and there it is. All right. So, do you have a passing through you wanted to mention?
Did I? Oh yeah. Well, you can mention it. We have the second one.
All right. So my number 9 is Wordsy. You know me, I like the word games. And this one is a cute little game, and you pull out a bunch of cards and you are making words using those. But I believe you can also add your own letters. But the more of the card letters that are out that you use, the better points you have. So it's a little bit backwards from some of the other ones where like you can only use these cards or you have to exclude these or something. So it's a different way of thinking about vocabulary and the words you want to come up with. So it takes a little, rethinking, and it's one of those that'll either click right away for you. You have to really think hard on it, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. So, and Hunter actually scored this one as like in the meh category, which for a word game,
I gave it a
guys,
7.
high praise.
7
just
for
a heads
a word game is off the charts because
I love them.
I do okay at word games. I don't know. It works my brain in a way that it feels like work. When some people play like a heavy Euro games and think, oh, this is just work. That's how I feel with word games. It's just like work. I just like have to use my brain in a way that I don't want to use my brain. What?
You're like, English class. Yeah, just
it's
like
pretty much. I mean, it's just like I'd rather not think about how
you're like, I'd rather go play an escape room game.
No. Well, no. Well, I don't know. You want to talk about the passing through game?
So the game that we both actually noticed that is passing through right now is Picture Perfect, because this one's new and it's going to get a lot more ratings and it'll probably move out of this particular 100. But this is a great little game. This is a great one that's really, you could probably play as a welcoming game, I think, with enough players and teach people how to play. Wouldn't you think? Yep. I think it'd be pretty easy to introduce to people because there's some variants you can do to add to make it trickier with betting on things and whatnot. But at its heart, all you're doing is you're setting up your little area and you're trying to set up the perfect photo. But everybody's got their own preferences. But it's kind of like a game of Clue. You're trying to figure out what their preferences are, and sometimes you get to peek and see exactly what that is. Sometimes somebody else has that information and they're not able to share it with you or don't want to share it with you, right? So your goal is to try to get as much information as possible, make some good educated guesses on the rest. You take your picture and then you get points for who is in the right spot and this and that and how many things. Because I think there's 3 elements per person, and you can get a whole bunch of points to get all 3, but you might be able to get 1 or 2, get some points out of it. A lot of fun. And again, they've got some more like I say advanced variants, but different things where you're betting some of the stuff that you could throw on the table to get more information about the other people. And of course, those are also worth victory points. So you're kind of betting using possible victory points in order to try to get more victory points. It's great. I love the advanced variant with this. It's pretty fun. Picture Perfect.
So
moving on up.
As an aside. Well, not aside. As tangential. No, not even tangential. Related to this topic.
To the side.
The Jack Vassal auction just ended. I don't know how much they collected. I usually try to buy something every year. I do my best, and I actually bought something this year. And I bought.
What'd you get?
I bought the acrylic stands for Picture Perfect.
Did you really? Oh, how fun!
That was what I bid. I didn't buy it. That's what the auction I won. So.
Oh, that's cool. That'll be fun because I liked those. They looked cool.
Yep.
They looked very cool.
All right.
Fun little toy.
Let's move on.
All right.
Number 8.
Let's see what it is. It'll be exciting. Here we go. By 2701 to 2800. Rum and Bones. We still have Rum and Bones?
Rum and Pirates.
Rum and Pirates.
Yeah, we do. It's right here behind you. Ta-da! It's right there.
So it's a Stefan Feld game.
It is.
It's very, 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 very different from his other games. I usually like his style game. I mean, he has games that aren't like the rest of his games. But this one was just, I don't know,
Which is funny because I like this one a lot. And you're like...
Anyway, so you're moving around a map.
Pirates.
You're a bunch of pirates, and you've gone out adventuring, and you're landing on a city, and you're moving about town, going to bars, and drinking, and spending your ill-gotten gains. And and it's kind of, it's weird, almost like I don't even know how to describe it. Area control, set collection, something. But basically, you're going around, you're doing things in the city, you're collecting items, and I guess it's got some... set collection and things like that, but then you have to, at the end of the night, at the end of the round, you have to go back to the ship, and there's only so many bunks on the ship, and there's like a whole area control weirdness going on, or who gets to find a place to sleep on the ship when they get back from town.
Can't party too hard.
It's a really unusual game, but it for whatever reason, it just didn't click with me. I usually like weird games like this of his, but this one didn't.
It's fun for something different.
It's okay. I think
but yeah, it's not one of those things where you're going to be like, let's go. This is the top of the list. Unless you're feeling piratey, and then it'd be great for a pirate-themed day.
It's
It's
okay.
gonna happen one of these days. I'm gonna do it.
I give it a meh. It's a meh. You heard me.
I'll allow it.
She likes it more than I do for whatever reason. She thinks it's goofy. So
It is goofy. It's goofy fun.
and I'll
like
talk
goofy
about
fun.
this time. I'll talk about the passer through game
Do it.
because I'm pretty sure hers is the same. But
Maybe.
I'll go ahead and talk about it.
Mhm.
Origins First Builders, a brand new game that just came out, big
Here's
heavy
mine.
Euro game, is setting in this 100, but I guarantee it's not going to sit there for too long. As more and more people get this one to the table, it's gonna move up the list. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, my 20. We're gonna call it 2700. That's what we'll call it, 2700.
2700.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. So my 2700 squeaked out Roman Pirates just by a hair. And that is Ascension X. I think one of the reasons I almost forgot about this one is we don't actually own this game, but one of my teacher friends brought it to a game day eons ago. And I can't even give you like a lot of details about it because it's been so long since we played it. I've only got to play it that one time. Ascension X. Yeah, but it was Ascension, and it's, you know, the typical card
deck building
type game. I love those. I don't know what it is about that that setup, but I really enjoyed Ascension X in particular because, well, that was the one that she brought at the time.
Ascension X or Ascension 10? I don't know.
Yes.
I, for one.
Stop. So that it's nothing. It's not going to stand out and be like, whoa, it's the most unusual deck builder ever or anything like that, but I just thought it was fun, and I thought it was a really smooth game, and it was really enjoyable to play, and I would totally play that again. And if Hunter was more of a just a deck builder game nut, I would probably be like, we should get this.
I don't know if I'm a big fan of the 1v1. No, I guess it wasn't 1v1.
No, it wasn't.
But whatever, I don't know, for whatever reason it didn't click with me. But we actually played this at the Dallas Games Marathons where we played this.
Yeah, with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they brought it.
Yeah,
Yep.
up at the Dallas
Yep.
Games. It was okay.
That's fun.
It's okay. It's just
I
not
like
really
it.
my style of game. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the Ascension games for whatever reason.
But you're not a huge, like, it's just one mechanism kind of
Well, I mean,
player necessarily either.
It's
You
kind
really
of a straight deck builder.
Mhm.
You do the fighting in the middle and get combos and stuff, but yeah, it's kind of a pure deck builder.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. And you already talked about my, as you call it, the passing through one with Origins,
Yep.
and I think that that definitely is going to go moving on up. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's a
solid
dice.
game too.
It's a dice
So.
placement,
Yeah, it's fun.
resource management.
Yeah, see,
Tableau building, engine building, all that
exactly.
stuff.
I'm seeing some of you chime in, like Michael was talking in the chat too. I like basic deck builders,
Right.
and Ascension is awesome for that.
Yeah,
It's perfect, right?
It's pretty much a pure
So,
deck builder.
I agree.
Other than the fighting of creature things or
Mhm.
something, I don't know. I can't remember much about it.
Right?
It's boring.
Oh, you did not. You're about to get the technical difficulties up in
I
here.
almost pushed the button, but I didn't. I don't know. I gotta go back. Here we go.
Okay.
Number 7.
All right. See what it is. It'll be exciting.
So this is
my
your
2600.
2600 to 2701 or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. What you got?
Throw a burrito. Rebecca's sad every time she sees this game. So throw burrito is a party game, just a goofy, silly party game that can cause injuries. But anyway, so basically, if you're around a table, you're playing cards, and then when certain things happen, you grab a burrito and you throw it at somebody. You can have a duel. You can have whoever grabs it and hits someone else quickest. Kind of craziness. Is that little? It's got little foam burritos that you throw in at each other. But we only played this once because it's not our game, and Rebecca had a broken ankle. Was it a broken ankle? Sprained ankle at the time. So I told her it was foreboding for her to play it because.
Yeah, you wouldn't even let me stay in the room while they were playing in case I.
Well, we were running through the house throwing burritos at each other.
You were like tackling each other and stuff.
It got aggressive at the end.
It was hilarious. And so I had to stay in the other room and watch. It was so lame. And now they have a giant yard version. The burrito's like the size of me.
Yeah, it's a big.
I want it.
Those big, those little punch, those big old. If you're as old as I am, those blow up balls, the punching bag things.
Oh, that would the like Weebles wobble kind of thing.
They're that big.
Back up.
The burritos are that
They're
big.
so
and
stupid, and I
launching
want
them
them.
at each other.
I want them.
This is a
I wanna
dumb
play this
game.
game.
I wouldn't even really even call it a game, but
It's awesome. What are you talking about?
But everyone was laughing their head off the entire time they were playing.
Even I was, even though I didn't get to participate.
You would have hurt your other ankle.
I probably would have.
Or someone would have kicked it or stepped on you or knocked you over, and I would have felt so bad because it would have been me. And I probably would have
been you.
I probably would have laughed at first and then realized what I did. It felt horrible and
You're
tears.
creating quite the drama. Oh my gosh, this just got sad.
And this one's also you want to talk? You will alternate talking about the past.
No, you can because I have two.
Okay, so the kind of the passing through game, it may not be passing through. It may settle here because the game we're talking about is Bad Company.
Yeah.
So this has only got a European release. You can't get this in the United States unless you order it from Europe and have it delivered for about $40 delivery. It may be even higher now. That was like
That's so
4 or 5 months ago. It is a what I would call a space-based variant. It's very much like space-based. You're purchasing little cards. You're putting them in your tableau. When other people roll their dice, you potentially get benefits. You get benefits on your turn. You're building up this gang of thugs that they're going to go and I guess rob the city or whatever. But it's funny, in addition to that, you got a little getaway car that you're driving around this map, and there's a cop car chasing you. And if you get to the end, you're fine. But if the cop ever catches you, you're going to lose points. It's really cool.
The way they rethemed what's basically space-based
it's obviously a retheming of space.
I love it. They need to ship this to the US. They'd make stupid money on it.
They said that they weren't going to have a US release last time I heard. So
they're insane.
Someone will pick it up. They have to. It was super popular, but I still think even though it's only in Europe, I still think it's passing through and eventually go higher because
it's a great game.
It's a good game.
It's a great game. Yep. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do mine, and then I'll do my passing through because I will pick the other one because you did pick my number one, but I have a number two for my passing through.
Okay.
I suspect. My number 7 or 2600 to 2700 is Vault Wars. So this is another one of those random quirky games I think Z dragged us into or something, or somebody did.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It was West Texas Con.
Oh, West Texas Con. Yeah, so it was everybody was playing all sorts of quirky little fun games, and you just kind of jump into those. And this is one where the premise is kind of funny. So you're a bunch of fantasy adventurers, and you had stored all your loot in these vaults, basically like storage facilities, except that you never made it back from your next adventure. So now people are auctioning off your loot vault.
Yeah.
So it's like Storage Wars.
It is like Storage Wars.
Exactly, but it's fantasy themed.
Right.
And it was pretty stinking hilarious because again, it's one of those where everybody's bidding and fighting and all this stuff, and then you open it up, and is it worth all the fighting that you just did, or is it going to just bust you and you're like nothing but duds? Yeah. It's stupidly funny. It was a really fun game.
Yeah, I didn't play this one. I was doing something else. I had no clue what I was doing at the time.
I don't know, or maybe you came in while we were just started it or something. I don't know, but it was good stuff. The passing through that I wanted to mention is Summer Camp. I think that this one probably will go up a little bit more because it is just a cute, fun little. It's a pretty recent game too, and you've got this little trail that you're trying to basically race through and stuff, but you're doing different activities, and it's kind of a deck builder game, and you pick and choose what activities you're doing at camp, but that tweaks your decks so that there's different like things that you're doing with them. Some of them are like sharing food, and this does this and that, and you have certain things you do for this, and some of them you have to do matching sets or whatever. I don't know. It's a fun, unique way to tweak deck building and still have a little bit of a race game in it. The theme is not something that's used very much, and I thought they used it in a very clever way. It's really fun. I really enjoy that one. So that is my passing through.
Number 6.
Fire the IT guy.
I swear OBS is out to get me.
OBS is out to
Let's
get
see what my number
everyone.
6 is. I guess that's the 2500 grouping.
It is.
And that is Secrets. Secrets. This is another social deduction game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, social deduction. This was presented, I believe, by the infamous, nay notorious, nay. I can't think of another adjective.
You're too tired, man.
I am
you
tired.
ran out of adjectives?
I was gonna say obsequious, but I can't remember what that word means.
Just move on with your...
Anyway, secrets. It's a social deduction game. So you are either the KGB or the CIA, and you're working
Always
together
acronyms.
against each other, trying to win rounds. But what tricks this game? You think that's a straightforward game, but what tricks it up? There's actually some hippies involved that are trying to lose the game, and you don't want them to lose.
Dang hippies!
So if they lose, they would get the lowest score. They win. So you gotta. It's weird. You gotta.
It was funny.
It's a very strange game. I don't recall much about it. I think we played this one game day. I don't know if it's been brought out since.
I don't think it's been brought out since, but we did get some amusement out of this. It was pretty funny.
It was.
It was pretty funny. We had a lot of fun with it.
So it's just a social deduction game. You're basically on teams, 3 teams of players. And I think your team, you play multiple rounds and you're on different teams each round, if I recall correctly, and you're scoring points as you go. So I think whoever has the most points at the end wins. I may be remembering that completely wrong, but it is a tricked up
A little social deduction
social
kind of
deduction
thing,
games.
Yeah.
So
It was fun. I just remember it was pretty silly with the hippies and all that stuff. I forgot all about the hippies.
right.
It's like,
that want to
what?
lose. So you can't just go all out for your team, because then if they don't get any points, then they win or something. I don't remember. I maybe remember it wrong. That's how I remember it. I remember it being goofy fun. So
Yep.
yeah, I'll let you talk about the past 3 because you love it much more than I do.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
All right. So my number 6, my 2500 to 2601 is Robin of Locksley. So sorry, I always have to say it like that because of Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
In the Robin Hood movie. But Robin of Locksley is just an interesting little game for something different. You make a square out of a bunch of different tiles, and I think except for the corners, you make it unique every time. And it's kind of a racing game. You're trying to, there's a bunch of tiles and stuff in the center, and you have some unique, weird maneuverability within that you're doing while you're trying to race and fulfill all the requirements that are on each tile. And as soon as you fulfill those, you turn those in, and then you have to keep going. And you kind of get to, I think once you can accomplish one, you get to keep going on your turn until you can't pay for one of the tiles, and then you have to stop. It's a lot like, what is it? There's one of the, I want to say it's an Uwe Rosenberg game, isn't it? The veggies.
Yeah, it's Ray Colt.
It's very similar to Ray Colt.
Yeah.
A simplified version of Ray Colt.
Yeah.
And not as pretty as Ray Colt, honestly. It's kind of basic with the art, but it's fun for just trying to get these sets and different things, and you're collecting them, and it's almost like a little mini Oni Thomas / chess thing going on in here, because you have to move kind of like a knight through here to try to get the tiles in there. So you're planning stuff and skipping over your opponents and trying to get this and race them to the finish. And it's a nice little game. I really like.
Yeah, you enjoy this one quite a bit.
I do. It's
I'm
fun.
okay. I think it's okay, but again, I'm not big on abstracts. This
Yeah,
is
it's
very
abstracted.
This is very much an
This
abstract
theme
game.
was
There was
not.
there was
I don't know why.
zero theme. There was no theme. They could.
Nope.
You could retheme this to anything. Anything could be themed as this. So
Why didn't they make it racing dinosaurs or something? Dinosaurs are cool.
that's the expansion.
I don't know. And then you wanted to talk about the
No, you did.
passing through. Oh yeah, I do. This one's definitely passing through. And that is floriferous. I think that one kind of goes without saying nowadays. Everybody's buzzing about that game, like a little bee over flowers, because it is what? Okay, it's got great art. It's another one of those little card games where you're going through and you're trying to accomplish things, collect your sets, get a bunch of sets, and at the end of the game, whoever's got the best, mastery and efficiency with their victory points and stuff wins the game. And I love the choices you have in this. I like it's another one of those like herbaceous and stuff where not only is it pretty, it's kind of a chill game. You can still be cutthroat with it, but at the same time, I don't know, it's almost like a zen experience looking at all the pretty little plants and stuff and then picking and choosing and playing your game. It's just a really nice game. I guess it depends on who you're playing with, though.
I like this game. I like floriferous.
You know what I'm saying? You can play it all cutthroat and be like, ah!
You can't hate drafting the game.
You
It's
could totally do
very
it.
much so.
It's pretty chill, though. I don't know. Even hate drafting, I just can't get mad because you're just staring at these really pretty
I
flowers.
get mad.
He does. He's got issues. I mean, just what? Oh.
Let's move on.
Number 5.
All right. My 2400 game is
What is it?
Starcadia Quest.
Yeah.
This one,
Pew pew.
this one is whatever year this came out is probably one of my biggest disappointments of that year.
It really was,
I think it was
though.
2019, maybe.
It was recent-ish.
Oh, maybe it's 2020. Anyway,
Nah, it wasn't.
so disappointed in this game. So this is a retheming of Arcadia Quest, but in space. It's a streamlining of the game. I was so excited. It's supposed to be streamlined. It's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be space themed. Oh, I was so hyped up.
Yeah, heck yeah, we were. 'Cause
I
we
was.
loved. You guys could
hyped.
watch our other play.
I was crazy hyped because
Arcadia
we
Quest.
played
Arcadia Quest
Arcadia
live.
Quest.
Well, not live, but we streamed it.
Yeah, and
Right.
we loved it. We played the campaign. We were itching to play the next game. We were so excited. We played literally one game of Starcadia Quest, and we were done with it.
It was really sad. We were so sad.
It was.
But it-
it wasn't necessarily the gameplay or the rules or anything, but the mission, what you tried to accomplish as your character, was dumb. I mean, literally, you could have a scenario where I do an objective, and then my next objective is like 2 steps away. And then my next objective is 3 steps away, just for random weird luck or something.
Yeah, but then
if I recall,
meanwhile, yeah, you had some, and then the other person would have like
kill
you'll
like
walk
5
through a
things
wall,
to get past
fire,
to
and-
get their thing.
Yeah, it was.
It was
rough.
just really strange,
Well-
really random, really unbalanced.
That was the thing too, because I think we did play another one. We did play a couple.
Oh, you're right.
Because
We did play
that was
2.
when we discovered there was a runaway leader problem. Because you won a round and then you got stuff to such a benefit that there was no way I was going to catch
Right,
you.
it
Like,
was-
just, it wasn't going to happen.
Who-
So
whoever,
it kind of,
whoever the game
us
was
sad.
okay, but whoever designed the campaign,
it was just
if
not,
I'm not talking to you, I apologize. If you're actually watching, did a horrible job. The campaign,
Dang.
the campaign and the scenarios
like it.
were horrible. But anyway,
it was,
but regardless, this is the best game out of this section for whatever reason.
Tommy was just commenting. He's like, that's how interesting this set is.
This
If you picked a
section
disappointment for a
was,
game.
scraping the bottom of the barrel, because I think this is the only game I rated a 6 or higher out of all the ones in this 100. So
That's rough.
yeah, there's not even a passing through for me. This is a bad group of 100.
I do not have a passing through for this one either, but I disagree with you on there being some fun games because, okay, there's not a ton, but I have a different one than you, and that's Categories.
Never
The
played.
old school, the cover you're seeing there is like the 90s cover, and that's the game I have. Right now it's in my board game collection with my students. And this is another word game, and you have a big old 26-sided die. Is it? I can't remember if it's got every single letter. It's close to that, though. And you roll this big die, and it's got all the letters on it. And whatever that starts with, then you have you pick, there's like 12 different lists, I think, in there that you can do. And everybody puts their list in. And you have a timer in there. I think it's 2 minutes, minute and a half.
You're talking
you
a
have
foreign language
to
to me.
think about all of the things that begin with that letter.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say this is not your type of thing, but I played
I'm
this
out.
so much in high school and college with friends and stuff. I played this game so many times, and with my creative writing students, we played this one a lot when we're trying to do like brainstorming different sorts of things. Just kind of take a brain break. We would play something like Categories, and it's interesting to see people's brains because I'm very literal sometimes, and I remember distinctly one of them is like street names. And so, of course, I'm like something Avenue or whatever. And then meanwhile, my friends are like, my students were talking about like my street name, what's up, and stuff like that. And I just laughed so hard because I'm like, that's your street name. Okay, I wasn't even
I want to hear
thinking-
Latin student street names.
Oh man, it's fantastic. I gotta say. So it's really neat because some of these are open for interpretation. And of course, if someone's got something iffy, everybody gets to vote on it. And so sometimes people have to like plead their case, like I deserve this point, because
This
it's
game
so
sounds
much
so
fun.
out of my
This is not
like,
your,
This is like,
not
this
you.
is like what,
I'm not even gonna let you play this game. Like,
what's funny about
love
Categories?
it.
Categories and Boulder Dash. I've never played either.
oh my gosh, I love Balderdash.
Those have like
I love-
merged in my mind for some reason, and I think they're similar games.
I can do a
but
whole
but they're very
Talk
dissimilar
about
games,
Balderdash.
right?
They're totally different games.
Right, but
Totally
in my
different.
head they're kind of the same generation and
Maybe
and their
generation.
word type things
Decade
going on.
came out.
And I don't know.
Man,
But no, I haven't
Like
played yet.
Brian. Right, Foxcall.
You don't have a passing through, do you?
I do not have a passing through because there is nothing
There's
in this 100. But
This is-
I'm telling you,
this is the
categories,
Death
old
Valley
school fun.
of the board game
The
geek
Death
listing.
Valley.
Are we done?
Tumbleweed.
Are we done?
The
Are we done?
tumbleweeds are drifting.
I'm calling it. We're done. Here we go. Let's move on.
Number 4.
Number 4. All right. My number 4
Mhm.
is Blood Bowl 2nd Edition.
Oh, of course. This had to be
At
yours.
one time, this was my favorite game.
That's cool.
Probably in the late 80s, early 90s. This was my favorite board game.
Nice.
Number 1 in my top 100 list of 1989. Blood Bowl 2nd Edition. This is the only physical version of Blood Bowl I've ever played. I've played many, many, many Blood Bowl video games, but this is the only physical copy of Blood Bowl I've played. Loved it. I played it to death. I've played this. This is probably, other than if you throw out like Uno and Spades and similar games like that, this is probably my most played board game of all time. I've probably played this game anywhere from 100 to 200 times, maybe more than that. Because we did leagues, we did playoffs, we did.
You guys are nerds.
We kept stats. we literally kept like stats.
That's wonderful. I love it.
And it just
Bunch of nerds.
We nerded out on this game. It was awesome. Love this game. I love the video game. I still play it to this day. I love.
That's true.
It's got campaigns and things you can do where you start with a crappy little team and you build up to this awesome team and you win the Blood Bowl. Really, really fun game. If you don't know what it is, it's a fantasy themed football game where you play football and you basically, but your guys like beat each other and kill each other and injuries and magic spells and bribing the refs and
It's so
and
hilarious.
all sorts of craziness goes on.
It's funny.
It's awesome, fun game. You can play one-offs, you can play campaigns, you can play leagues, you can do all sorts of stuff. They still mostly over in England because it's a Games Workshop game. They still hold leagues and tournaments and all sorts of
Oh my
stuff for
goodness.
Blood Bowl. So,
That's hilarious.
not this version. They obviously play the most modern version usually, but
Okay.
this is the 1988 version. I want to say because I played this in high school or in college, so
Yeah.
I assume it's
Can't
around
see
that
it.
era or somewhere in there.
That's fun.
Blood Bowl 2nd Edition, and I think we have the same pass-through game.
You want to talk about it because you know more
But
about
I'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
'cause you're-
The game that's passing through is one of the latest T games, Tabanusi Builders Up or however you say it. Or?
It's
I don't know.
It's
Latest in the T games. It's
It's
a great one. It's very similar to some of the other T games. It has these regions that you're doing your activities in. It's dice drafting, I guess, type game, and your area control. It's contracts. It's a T game. It's got everything in the world going. A point salad style game. Really enjoy it. One of my favorite T games. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's way up the list of my favorite T games.
It will melt your brain. Your
So,
brain.
That's my
shall be melted.
number 2300.
That's your number 4 then.
Blood
on the
Bowl
10.
2nd Edition.
All right. My number 4 is a cute little game that Gaming Wife introduced me to, and that is Bites. If you have not played this delightful little game, you owe it to yourself too. It's, at its heart, it could be just an abstract game, but they made this a really cute little picnic theme, and you've got a little path, and you have your bugs and stuff, and they have to go down the path. It's a race game. But everything's specialized. There's different types of like rocks and twigs or whatever on the path, and each bug type that you have moves differently. Some of them can skip some, or they have to be placed right behind somebody. Like they have their own ways that they move. So you want to try to make the most efficient race possible based off of like what bugs you have moving where, and interesting. So it was a surprisingly like deep game for this cute little kidsy game. The pieces were really cute and pretty, and it was just a really fun surprise. It was one of those, as soon as we finished, I'm like, do you want to play this again? This is really cute. And we did. We played 2 games right in a row with it, and absolutely love this one. And this is how we get ants. Totally, Michael. Yes, this is how we get ants.
I didn't play this one, but you guys seem to be.
Oh yeah, we had a ball with it. And
They were having a good time.
it's true. It's true.
Because obviously I wasn't playing. That's probably why they enjoyed it.
Hopefully you were cooking food.
I probably actually was cooking.
You
chili.
probably was. I was like, why else wouldn't you be playing?
All right, that's it.
That is.
Let's get on out of here.
Number 3.
Number 3, or 2200, as they say. I think this is a crossover. It is, so we can just both talk about it and save some time. Or we can talk about it separately, whichever you prefer.
I don't do co-op.
It is Push.
Real good. Oh,
Push.
Push.
The Push. This was actually introduced to us by Hector the Turtle
I think I was gonna say.
and Gaming Wife. They brought this to one of our game day. It's
Woo-woo.
a little pack a card kind of game.
Yeah, it's one of those that's just. That's it. That's the.
It has a die
packaging.
that you're rolling. But
Okay.
basically, it's a kind of a push your luck game. Strangely enough, it's called push your luck game.
What? No, I
basically
never made
you're-
that connection.
You're collecting these. You're basically drawing cards. You're putting them in little sets. There's rules on how you do it. You can create up to 3 little piles. If something happens where you have to put a similar card in the same pile, you bust and you get nothing. But at some point you say I'm done, and then you write up the cards, and you roll dice, and you can potentially lose all your cards of a color. But you can also take your turn off and not get any cards, and bank a chunk of your cards so they don't get lost if you have forced to roll a die.
It's greatness.
It's completely a very streamlined push your luck game. That's all it is. It's levels of push your luck. It's not
Yes.
only is it push your luck on your
Yes.
turn when you're putting the cards out. It's push your luck on how big you build your bank of cards, because you have to waste a turn
To bank.
to take the cards and protect them with it.
But is it a waste if you save all your
I
victory
never
points?
bank my cards. Ever.
This is
Either this is like all push your luck
it is.
games.
He either wins
Either I
huge.
annihilate
yeah.
everyone, or I get dead last.
It's hilarious.
There's no in between for me in push your luck games.
And you know, it's funny that you're right. Push, when I first saw the box, I was like,
Mass market garbage.
Yeah, I was like,
It's what-
garbage. Yeah,
yeah.
no, this is actually, it's got some substance to it, and it's really fun. It's one of those addictive, you want to play it multiple times kind
Right.
of games. So
Yeah,
don't let it deceive you.
I think it was. I don't know if it probably was intentional marketing to make it look kind of like Uno.
They're sneaking in
Because it is a mass
real
market game.
games.
It is
right?
setting on. You go to Target
Yeah.
or Walmart or whatever, Piggly Wigglies, Publix, whatever's in your world. It's going to be setting with all the other Uno games and stuff on the shelf, and it looks like an Uno variant, but it's very much not an Uno variant. It's totally a push your luck game, and it's really fun. It's actually really fun.
I actually like Uno too. My board game kids will play that too. Like sometimes it's
play
just the
Uno.
go-to and stuff.
I played Uno so much.
That's true. Like to death. Oh my gosh,
I
played it
played
so much in high school and
so
college.
much Uno.
So much.
It's probably my second most played game. My first most played game is Spades, because all through elementary, middle
think about
school,
that.
and
That
high
would be
school,
really
that was
high.
the only game we played when we went to
Yeah.
academic competitions. So
Yeah, it's like
I probably played 1,000 games of Spades. So that was the game we played.
we played War a lot too. Like a
Spades.
lot, because we played it even when we were kids. That's a tough one. But yes, passing through game. I get to talk about this one.
Okay,
Or do you have a different one?
Nope.
Oh, you same one? The passing through game, I saw somebody already mentioned it. Creature Comforts. That is definitely passing through right now.
Yeah, that'll.
This
move
is
up
very
the
new,
list.
and this is probably right now my top game of the year.
Not mine.
Well, I know, but it's mine. It's absolutely adorable. You're just making your own little cozy home for winter time, and you want to make it, it's like a little bed and breakfast, and you want to make it the best for your little hibernating friends, so they have a nice little place to stay through the winter. And so you're collecting different things, and it's resource management, and you've got these, the art's magnificent, the gameplay's really smooth. I think this is a great family game. Nessa's absolutely in love with this game. In fact, it's brought her back into playing board games,
Yeah,
because
it's
she's
the
been on
first
a video
board
game
game
kick
she played in
2 years.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, and she's played it several times now,
Yep.
and wow, it was just like all the things. It's so much fun to play. I like it. So far I think have we only played it? No,
We
we've
only
played
played
it.
it with Nessa.
Yeah, we've only played it 3 players, and 3 players just is really smooth. Really like it.
We played it
So-
3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
3 or 4. I don't know.
Yeah. Super good game, and it's gorgeous, and it's definitely going to go up the list as everybody starts to get playing it and all that good stuff. So,
All
good
right,
times.
let's move on.
Number 2.
My number 2 is a retheming of an older game,
Ooh.
and that is The Good Critters.
Yes.
This is a retheming of Teeth Toshin, if you played that game. It's a...
That was so funny. That was a
it's
political game.
It's a... Not really political. Yeah, it kind of is.
The German one was.
Yeah, it was based on politics. This one's based on a gang of
gangsters or
of
whatever.
little animal creatures that are like gangsters. But anyway, so basically what it is,
so weird.
It's kind of a social deduction-esque game. Basically, you take it in turn to be the boss, and basically you're given a bunch of treasure cards, and you can divide up the cards however you want, and among all the players, you can put it all in front of you. But the thing is, everyone around the table is going to vote whether they like the split or not, right?
It's such a mess.
They vote yes or no or on a split, or they can actually just like do some like steal money from other players or do all
You
sorts
can bribe.
of weirdness.
There's all sorts of chaos.
So basically, you're secretly putting out your opinion or what's going on. Either you're voting or doing action or whatever. You can negotiate and say, hey, I'll give you a little extra if you vote for yes, and it's a whole kind of negotiation game. And then the vote happens. You basically, whatever the result is, maybe the split happens or the split doesn't happen, and if you potentially could stay the boss again because everyone loved what you did,
Yep.
or it moves on to the next person,
Yep.
and it just goes around the table a certain number of times, and then whoever has the most loot at the end wins. So it's a fun little game. The other one's political. It's
like bribing politicians.
It's politicians. You're basically trying to pass certain laws or whatever. I can't remember exactly, but people are voting yes or no and bribing and all sorts of weirdness going on. But this one's more of a less political version. I mean, it's not politics, it's an angry politics. It's just voting yes or no for things.
Yeah.
But this one's gangster themed and
It's silly, yeah. Nick, I think you're right. I think it does mean deep pockets in English, the original German game.
Teeth Toshin, yeah. Basically, it's a bribe. It's bribing politicians to get what you want. Basically, yeah. And this is the same thing because you can bribe people to get what you want as well. So, I think you can force people to show their votes and things, and you can, that's like I said, attack other people, steal their stuff, and all sorts of weirdness.
Fantastic.
It's a fun little. It's basically a party theme social deduction.
Oh, it's so rowdy. It can get so rowdy. It's so much fun. I think it's better with a more, I don't want to say outgoing group necessarily, but more aggressive type of player.
Because it's a negotiation game.
So yeah, you're going to want people to respond to, shenanigans and stuff. It's great.
Well, I don't have a passing through, so it's on to Rebecca.
Okay. Mine, going from your chaotic, crazy bribes and beating up and everything else, I'm going to a very calm, cool, and collected game, and that is Sunset Over Water. This is another one of those games that you could just sit and stare at and probably be just happy with the world. It's really beautiful. And you're a painter, and you're going to paint these things, and you pick what time of day you're gonna go, and that gives you, depending on if you go earlier or later, give you more moves that you get to make and stuff you get to do. And the only cutthroat part of this is as you're walking around to go get these paintings and stuff, you can kind of cut off other players and keep them from getting to stuff that they might want to paint. The rest of it is just so chill. It's another one of those chill games. It's really pretty to look at. It kind of reminds me of Floriferous. It could be very cutthroaty. It's got those moments, but you're so busy just.
I love how you're saying cutthroat so much on this game. It seems
I know,
like it's a little.
It's a little pretty.
You have like the music playing in the background, the
And you're
water,
just like,
you have the
la, la,
water
la,
sounds
la.
in the distance.
I'm like, oh look, I just painted this instead of you. La la la. I mean, it kind of goes like that. It's really funny. Because I did maybe cut off Hector the turtle a few times.
I didn't play this
one.
He
painted himself into a corner. See what I did there?
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, this. I'm back. I'm here all the week. So yeah, no, it was. It's just a really fun, beautiful game. This is like such a great game to chill out with.
I haven't played it, so I couldn't tell you.
Unless you're Jeff. I mean, oh wait, oh.
I don't know why I played this one. Playing all these games without me. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, because
apparently I dodged some bullets.
We're gonna have a different.
All of the ant games sounded pretty fun.
No, it was really fun. I do not have a crossover game for this one either that was a passing through. Eventually, we're going to discover more of these games. I see you guys talking about some games that we've never played in the chat, and I'm like, ooh, interesting. So once again, as I always try to point out too, if you are watching this after the fact in particular, always, if you can, throw the chat on because they're throwing out some great games too of stuff that
these are all hidden
haven't gone to.
games.
Yeah, these are all hidden gems because
for the
again,
most
these
part.
are Well, yeah, they're down in the rankings some, and a lot of times people don't go and seek out those, and they're missing out on some great stuff. So, anyway, it's time.
It is, but it's like not as dramatic because it's only minus of these games because they're not necessarily
Speak
in
for
the
yourself.
they're not necessarily in your favorite game
Speak
order.
For yourself?
Oh, this is your favorite one of the 10?
No.
This is my probably maybe
No, but it's one of my
close,
most
close
played.
to my least favorite of
It's
the
one
10.
of my most played, though.
As I'm selling this.
Number 1.
Number one, my number one,
Woo-hoo.
or 2001 to 2100 game is Codenames Disney Family Edition. So I think this is our favorite version.
It is our favorite version of
the
Codenames,
Codename games.
by
We haven't
far.
played a lot. We've only played 2 or 3 versions, but this is our favorite version of
3 or
the
4,
Codenames.
actually. But yeah.
Anyway, it's Codenames, but it's Disney themed.
It just seemed like everybody we've played with could wrap their heads around this one the best. And the
you
kids
actually
could play it.
Yeah, you play with kids and stuff. It's
Yeah.
maybe a little more. It's hard to give clues in the regular code names to children because you have to make it something they can relate to. Because the whole point of the clue is you got to relate to it. This one with Disney, it's much easier to relate it to something the kids will understand. And this one, if I recall, this version also has pictures on one side and words on the other. If I recall correctly. So you can not only make it, you can make it even more kid friendly by doing the picture side as opposed to the word side for the most part.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's an okay game. I'm not a super big Codenames fan. I don't think I would like wander off if someone wanted to play it, but it's not something I'd seek out on my own to play. But I enjoyed my plays of it. I've enjoyed my plays of all the versions of Codenames. It's a fun little kind of mental puzzle more than a lot of ways. It's more of a mental puzzle than a game. What I found is interesting about this game is I play it very much like I played Dixit.
Yeah.
I try to find a clue that is almost like inside information which is obviously kind of what you want to do, but I may target one person on my team.
Everyone else is mystified.
Everyone else is like, "What are you talking about?" And then one person's like, "Oh, it's this one, and this one." I like that. I do Dixit the same way. I find that one person at the table. I target my clue to them because in Dixit you really just want one person to match your answer, right?
It's
so
true.
that's
Troll.
kind of how I play Codenames for whatever reason. But this is a great version.
Yeah.
There's many different versions. I think there's a Marvel version and a bunch of different versions out for Codenames. But this is the one that is in this 100, and it's actually one of the ones that we still have. I don't know if it may be the only one we have. I don't know.
It is the only one we have.
Yeah. So we've axed all the other Codenames and kept this one. So. I have a passing through game. I think mine's different.
Yep, it is. So go ahead.
My passing through game is Llama Land.
Llama Land. This was a close.
This is
second
the
for me.
latest and greatest from Phil Walker Harding.
Praise be, as they say.
Anyway, Phil Walker Harding.
Ah, brothers.
This is another one of
love you.
his polyomino game, but this is kind of like Gingerbread House. You're stacking polyominoes and building like a little hillside, and you're putting little llamas on your hillside. It's a nice little set collection, achievements, like what I call achievements, goal-oriented game where you opt into certain goals that you're trying to achieve throughout the game. Fun little game, easy to teach, easy to play. It's zippy. It's probably a half-hour game. Really good one. It's probably my favorite Walker Harding game, I want to say.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
A lot of people like Barren Park better, but
I don't know. As Corley says, the corn and potatoes, man, it's pretty fun. And the first time we played it, I feel like ours is like the boring one now because Tom Vassal with his library, he blinged them out and he had the little
corn and stuff.
little pieces of corn. It looked like Barbie corn, like
yeah.
And then potatoes, like
we got little.
We had the little tokens, the cardboard tokens,
right.
And I'm like, where are my potatoes?
I still love it. Like I said,
No,
it's my favorite.
It's cute.
Honestly, I think they're
super cute.
In Gingerbread House, maybe on the outs.
Oh, I like Gingerbread House. We will discuss.
Anyway, I love it. Llama Land is my passing through game, and it's going to pass through pretty quickly, I think, as more people get this to the table.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's a great one. And it's so darn cute. All right, my number one. We're talking old school. Probably one of my most played games from back in the day anyway. And that is Taboo. In fact, the game I have has a cover older than that cover, I think. I don't think that's the first cover. I'll have to look and see. My game is so beat up. I swear it had an orange cover on it. But yeah, this game is great. This is one of the
Is
first
this the
board
buzzer
games.
game?
Yes, this is the buzzer game because I had such
I've
mature
played this
friends.
before.
Yeah, I had to hide the buzzer batteries.
Oh, you cannot play this game with me then.
No, because you would be. I was gonna say, yes, because the buzzer sounds like a razor, so everybody would be like, being stupid because high school. Well, never mind. It doesn't matter what age people are. But
I'd get a friggin' air horn.
you would too. You'd be like, "Where's the cowbell? I'll get anything." So, anyway, what you have the buzzer for is it's a team game. And the person on the opposite team is sitting there with a buzzer while you're doing this because you have the word that you're trying to get your team to guess, but you also have taboo words that you cannot use in giving the clues to your team. So if you have like chicken, it might have like Kentucky Fried or,
Eggs,
eggs
wings, feathers.
Bird or something stupid on there on the card. And if you say any of those things, they buzz you and then you don't get the point. The other team gets the point and stuff. And it is so much fun. But it was, I would actually I took one of I think it took 2 batteries, and I took 1 battery out just to mess with everybody. And I would hide it under how it has the stupid filler
I haven't played this
insert
game in
for the
20
game.
years, probably.
I would hide it under the insert. Why doesn't the buzzer work? Yeah.
More than 20 years, probably more like 25 years.
Oh, yeah. If you want to say that 1990 was like 10 years ago, then yeah, sure. It was like 10 years ago. But yeah, oh man, we played this game. And this is one of those too that after a while, you probably don't even play like the game. You're just going for who's going to get the top score. And everybody just keeps going until you're exhausted or gone through all of the cards or something stupid. It's fantastic. It's one of those where you can play so much. But then my very close, I go back and forth with these two. The passing through game I picked was Juicy Fruits. I liked this one because it reminded me a little bit of...
I need to hunt this game down. You keep talking about it.
I know, you may have to. You know how I don't know, when I was a kid, they had these little plastic or wooden squares and then have like 1 through 15, like the numbers on it. And you could slide them. And the trick was to put them in order.
They have all kinds of puzzles like that.
Yeah, that's like the
If you watch Survivor like I do all the time, that puzzles...
reality TV.
Slide puzzles.
All right, so... Yeah, anyway. I said so, Juicy Fruits, that's the main mechanism in the middle of the board on the game. So you're wanting to get your fruits out there, but you also need to like fulfill contracts and stuff to open up the sides so that you can move more laterally or vertically. And basically you're doing that. You're moving around so that you can get more of that fruit. The more you can move it, the more fruits you get.
Right. And
so you're trying to collect them, and it's very puzzly, literally, because again, like I said, it's like one of those little slide puzzles to play while you're doing that. And I just thought that was really fun, and the pieces for that are really bright and vibrant and pretty, and it's fruit and cute and happy, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed this game. It really clicked. So I think that one's passing through too. I think as more people play this one,
I don't know how available it is right now.
That's what I was worried about. I don't know how available it is, and I just really like, I don't know, it just uses something different for a change. And it has a little bit of, oh my gosh, the fruits remind me of that game that Finca, that the girls loved so much. Big clunky wooden fruit pieces.
Yep. And
for some reason, I don't know, I really like those. I have a thing for clunky wooden fruit pieces. I got nothing. So, but that's my passing through game, because I think it really is passing through. I think it's on to bigger and better things as it gets more available. So,
all right, that's it, folks. That is the next 1,000. I don't know if we're going to journey on further, because you're talking. It may be hilarious to move on.
Do you know what we need to do? We should
do that, because it's going to be garbage games. We're going to be talking about. Most of these games are okay. We're going to be getting into the bad game.
I think one of these years we need to make it a challenge to specifically seek out some of the games that would be in that next 1,000, so that we have.
I don't even know if we have.
Because like you said, there's hidden
games
gems
at every 100 at this point. We maybe have.
I don't Oh, it's worth looking into. I don't know if we could make a top 10
I'm
list
with
then,
one
but
now, but it would take too long.
yeah, exactly. Like childhood stuff, right? It reminds you of your
Maybe.
childhood.
The problem is most of the childhood games are like down in the 10,000s.
Well, no. Well, I was talking about talking about the juicy fruits and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a kid's game, but it's very much not a kid's game.
Oh yeah, it'll melt your brain a little bit.
It's got
It's great.
very, very puzzly, very abstract,
Yeah.
puzzly kind of game.
Yep. Uncle Wiggly is only 22,000. See? What's up? There we go. Oh, I should look up. Hey, Tommy, look up Dino Bones. See if that one.
Dino Bones?
Yeah, another game. We haven't even
May
played
not
it
even
online.
be ranked.
Oh,
May
it
not even
should
be in there.
If not, I'm gonna go rank it.
But we may do it just for grins. Do the thing, and if we don't have one in 100, maybe we'll pick a game that interests us in that 100. But I think we might have one in each. But if I recall correctly, I looked ahead. Again, these kind of cycle around. But I think at one of the sections, my best game was like a 4 or 3 ranking in that group.
That's fantastic. Kind of like this was my.
I don't know.
I don't
If we'll keep this going. It'd be fun, but I don't know how interesting it'll be with sections that we don't have a game for.
Yep.
We might have a game for every section. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I saw that Zeros where Tom was talking about Uncle Wiggly's first game he remembers seeing. It was one of mine.
Yeah.
My family played a lot of card games and stuff though. But
my first game
funny.
I recall playing is pretty generic. Candyland is the first game I played, and I was obsessed with that game when I was little. I mean, literally obsessed. I would literally pick this up and put it under my arm and walk around the neighborhood.
So cute.
Because like we always played, if you're a kid from the 70s, you played outside.
Yep, you took it
got
outside
up
and
and you
played.
went outside.
Yeah.
So I would take my little Candyland game under my arm and I'd waddle down the street until found someone willing to play Candyland with me.
That's
I
amazing.
played that game so many times. It's like so many times.
Nessa took
And
after you.
I was little. And that tells you how crazy.
Exactly.
That tells you how crazy the 70s is. I was probably 3 years old wandering around the neighborhood with Candyland. The 70s were just, it was like,
Hey, y'all survived. We're good.
rub dirt on it, it's fine. You break your leg. 70s. Anyway, so
Lawn darts.
but every parent knew every kid on our street.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we just wandered around and we played board games out in someone's driveway. It was crazy. Anyway,
Dino Bones is unrated.
told you.
I'm getting online,
You have
baby.
to get like 10 ratings before it will pop into the thing. So
I don't know if I want to make 10 alts on.
you make 10 things and give it all 10s. That's hilarious. All right, so that's it for this time. Next week is our variety show. We've played like no games, none. I don't think we've played a single game because
I was gonna say I have state this weekend.
we were both out of
Kiddos.
town last weekend. We were both going to be out of town this weekend, so
Both
we're going
are?
to do all kinds of wacky shenanigans and not spend all whole time talking about a bunch of games.
It's
so,
true, though.
So we'll do some fun stuff. We may even throw a playthrough or something in there to eat up some time.
Ooh,
So
me likey.
that's it for this time, folks.
Thank you all so much for joining us. It was so much fun, and you were awesome as always.
That's supposed to be the ender, huh?
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.